time has come for UDS Nyankwala campus to elect a new SRC president. There are a whole lot of aspirants who are aspiring for that position. One of them stands out, but I don't know who stands out. So I'm going to talk to one of them, then we'll see in the end. You and I will choose together who you think is the best for the position. Charlie, what's up?
Oh, big man.
How is the elections and the preparation going?
Oh, we are pushing through. It's not easy when it comes to politics. You are here, you are there, running around. It's not easy, big man. But
always, it's not easy. When I come there, it's not easy for them.
Actually.
So, what's your name?
My name is Abdul Mumin from the Faculty of Communication and Media Studies. Currently offering social change communication. I'm carrying level 300.
SCC.
Yes, SCC.
Wow, but when it comes to campus politics, you guys top everywhere. So, is there a department you are under, or you don't have department?
Yes, we have department, but I'm from that's communication and innovation, Department of Communication.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
We have languages, we have journalism in our faculty, but I'm from communication and innovation, the Department of Communication.
Oh, okay. So far, how is the preparation for the elections? I think in a week time there will be elections. How is the preparation going?
We are pushing through. Even though we have few challenges, but it's all part of politics. We're just trying to put things right, and then we're hoping to be victorious when the day comes.
Oh, okay, sure. So I know you've come up with a lot of policies to try and tackle some of the problems on campus, at least the ones you'll be able to solve. Can you give me some of your main policies that you are putting out to solve the problems?
Okay, so you're talking about my main policies. I believe every policy in my manifesto is very, very important because I carefully drafted those policies and I studied the student body and I drafted those policies. For example, my first policy in my manifesto was when I'm elected as the SRC president, I'm going to start what I call the SRC Academic Support Fund. The reason is this.
SRC Academic Support Fund.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I've noticed a lot of students delay in paying school fees. And the reason is, we all are not from the same background. We have a lot of people that are struggling financially to pay school fees. So I believe when I'm elected as a president, I'm going to start an account, and this account is going to be funded by not just only SRC. We're going to reach out to NGOs and corporate bodies to help us with funds. And these funds are going to be used to assist students that are struggling to pay their school fees. Because I believe that most of these things, for example, when it comes to portal-related issues, this portal-related issue has always as a result of students not being able to pay their school fees. Because if you're not able to pay your school fees, you'll not be able to do the registration on time. And when you're able to do your registration on time, the portal will automatically withdraw you. That's when we start complaining the portal has issues. So I believe if I solve the problem of school fees, it will help to solve some of our portal-related problems. So that's our policy number one.
Oh, I think that's a very good policy because me personally, I've seen students trying to write letters for them to help them just register, although they've not paid and then they want to register. So going ahead, what is the next big policy on board?
Yes, so another big policy is I've realized that students are complaining when it comes to water. So I've added something I call the SRC water project. And the water project is going to be very simple and a little bit complex. And the reason is this. How my administration will tackle the water-related issues is very simple. I will reach out to NGOs, for example, Ghana Water Aid. Okay? It's an NGO that when you reach out to giving them reasons why they should come and invest in your campus, they're going to do that. And they always do it by just digging boreholes and stuff. So I believe when I'm elected as a president, I reach out to various NGOs to request for them to dig boreholes, and not just only boreholes, also giving out things like polytanks and all those kind of stuff to help us store water. And when we do things like that, it will help reduce the pressure of water shortage and everything.
So on that policy, is the water going to be free or students are going to buy it?
Yeah, so when it comes to the boreholes, obviously the water is going to be free because we are getting the water from the land, okay, or the earth. So that one is going to be free. But when it comes to we buying water from other alternative sources and storing it and giving it to students, it's going to come at a lesser price. Okay, we can decide to sell each for a gallon. We can decide to sell 1 cedi 50 pesos.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, at least this will help to reduce the water shortage related issues on campus.
Okay, and give me your last big policy.
My last big policy, every policy it's big, as I said before.
Okay.
Another policy I looked at is related to third trimester field practice program. UDS is built on TTFPP. Yeah. When you come to UDS, you must go for TTFPP. I've realized that going back to your community in level 200 is not easy. When I was going back to my community, for example, when it's 4 p.m., you will not get a car and go to my community.
Wow.
Yes, when it's 4, you will not get a car because the road, there are no street lights and no one will want to risk going and coming in the night. So I realized that transporting yourself level 200 from wherever you are to your communities is always a big problem. So I believe when I'm elected as the next SRC president, I'll work on that. And in working on that, I would work with the transport committee. And when I work with the transport committee, we would organize buses. Okay, we organize buses, then we transport level 200 TTFPP students to their communities at an affordable price. It's not going to be free though, because we need to fuel the buses and also pay the drivers. So at an affordable price, let's say you're going to spend 100 cedis from here to your community, we can give it to you at 50 cedis.
So it means that if I get you right, for the first year you are transported by the school to the community, and second year you will find your way to the community.
Yes.
And you are coming to put in an initiative that you get buses for students for level 200 students to also go, but then at a lower cost.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So if you understand how the TTFVP system works, level 100, they take you. The school is responsible for taking you to your community. Okay. So when they are responsible, you see things are always smooth. You just sit in the bus, they take you there. You don't really see the stress. It's level 200, you always understand the stress. And what I went through, I don't want any other students to go through that. That's why I decided to add this into my policies. Yes, and then it's one of an amazing policy that I would like to really work on. And
I'll be glad if you are able to get that still. So what's your position on the ballot paper?
God willing, I'll be number 3. Just the last.
Number 3 on the ballot paper. Okay. So now, being number 3 on the ballot paper, do you think your position on the ballot paper is going to have an influence on the outcome of the elections?
I don't think it's going to have an influence, because I believe the people going there to vote would obviously, they know my face and they know my name. So obviously when they just go, they are looking out for Abdul. Even if the person doesn't know my ballot number, so the person goes, I'm voting for Abdul Mumin, sees my picture, confirms with the name and votes for Abdul Mumin. So I don't think it's going to really have so much of an influence.
Okay, so another question on the influence of the outcome. Now, this campus is a multi-tribal campus. There are numerous tribes on this campus, not just dominated by one tribe. Now, do you think that the tribe of an aspirant is going to have an influence on the outcome?
Yes. I don't think so. I believe in the fair judgment of the student body. I believe even despite your background, despite the tribe or the ethnic group you belong to, if you really possess the capability to lead, the student body is going to give you that opportunity to lead, irrespective of your tribe or the background in which you come from. And studying the trends of politics and the trends of SRC president, I realized no, it doesn't really have so much of an effect.
Interesting. So mostly SRC presidents do come, they make a lot of promises, and mostly they are not able to solve the problem they promised they were coming to solve. And students will complain, it's like nobody hears them. Now, what is that one thing that you've seen that you're coming to do that is way different from the others that you think that you can get this problem solved?
Yes, okay. So it's very simple. The reason is this. You see, when you make a promise, okay, when you make certain promises, certain huge promises that are so obvious, promises that are going to be very hard to achieve, when you are given the opportunity as the next SRC president, you can't fulfill them. So that's what I'm saying. If you look at the policies I have structured down, all my 13 policies, they are very, very, very easy to achieve. So I believe that when I'm elected as the next SRC president, fulfilling these policies won't be that much of a stress. It's a matter of putting some 1 or 2 things online, and we're going to do it. So I believe those policies won't be much problem.
So as to why most of the problems were not solved in the previous administrations, do you think that it was the way they tackled them, or the problems are just beyond is beyond like the power of the SRC to solve?
Yeah, so
do you think it's government that has to step in, or the SRC can get them solved? Some
problems are beyond the SRC president. For example, if you go through the constitution and you read the rules of the SRC president, it will guide you to draft your policies. For example, in my policies, you will never see something like me promising students that if I'm elected as the SRC president, I'm going to help renovate lecture halls, fixing of funds, and it's not the role of the SRC president. That is the role of the school management.
Interesting.
Yes. So if I tell the student body, if I become the next SRC president, I'm going to renovate, let's say, lecture halls, put in fans and ACs and sockets, I'll be lying to them. When I'm elected, I can't do it. It's not the role of the SRC president. It's really the role of the school management. Okay. And for example, if I promise a student that if I'm elected as the next SRC president, I'm going to build them a bank, it's going to be very, very, very or close to impossible to build. And the reason is this: the time frame of being an SRC president. I'm going to be an SRC president for close to 6 to 8 months. That is not enough to start a bank.
That's very short.
Yes, that's very, very short. So sometimes it's just you understanding the power of the SRC president. Yes.
So you are basically telling me that you are not going to be the SRC president who is going to fix like maybe the funds and all the things that are being spoiled. But right now, you are leading, possibly if you win, you are going to lead the student to the management. You are going to be that link between the management and the students. Now, if there's a problem in the classrooms and that needs to be solved, is it not the SRC that will lead the student to the management to get it solved?
So if you understand the constitution of SRC very well, what the SRC president can do is the SRC president can only advocate. You can only advocate for funds to be changed, for sockets to be changed. And trust me, when you advocate, you're only creating awareness. You just go let the management understand that so and so our funds are in a bad shape. They would choose when to do it. They would find a way of gathering the funds and everything. So I can only advocate, which I pledge to do. Okay, so I can only advocate, but I will not make it part of my promises that when I come, I'm going to do this. So that if I don't do it, I will not be held responsible. But I will advocate for the student body because I stand to represent the student body. So I'm going to advocate not just in relation to the whole the lecture halls, funds, and everything, related to every single thing on campus. If they need me to advocate for them, I'm going to advocate and represent them in all matters. Yes.
So do you think the way you advocate also counts to getting it solved? Like the manner in which you advocate, because if someone is very aggressive to the management on it and someone just presented and they don't do it, the person does not care, do you think the manner in which you advocate also counts?
Yeah, so the manner in which you advocate also really counts though. For example, how I approach the management and how I put the problem down to them really counts. But the problem here is this: management doesn't just consist of one person, it's a series of people. Okay, right. So for example, if they're going to renovate lecture halls, they have to draw a budget. The budget will pass through a committee. They'll review the budget, then the funds will be released. It goes to series of processes. So you, the SRC president, understanding this, you understand that it's not a short thing. Maybe you can start the process and find a way, maybe the next SRC president coming would complete it, because it's not an easy process. It's not an easy
Interesting. So are you going to set up like an initiative that will get the student complaints being heard? Because mostly students complain is like nobody's listening. How are you going to tackle that?
Yeah, so me being the SRC president and really wanting to represent the student body or representing the students, I would find a way to make sure the student voice are heard. And this is going to be very simple, okay? You see, when you're going to let the student voice be heard, so that's when it comes to management, it has to be in a formal way. So I'll work hand in hand with the secretary, okay? The secretary, I would personally let the secretary draft a system, okay? It could be an anonymous system where students can push in their complaints. We'll put it in a formal letter, then we'll find a way and submit it to the management. This is what the students are facing. This is what the students are saying. Because some students will want to give a certain complaint, but they want to be anonymous. Okay, I might want to give you a complaint. I want to be anonymous. I don't want the student management to know who gave you that complaint. So I would work hand in hand with the secretary to set up that system. It could be anything. It could be a WhatsApp group. Then we'll create an anonymous system. Whatever complaint you have that is genuine, you can send it to us. Nobody will know where the complaint is coming from. And now in this era of technology, it's very easy. We just create a link and people will do that. And I believe when I do something like that, I'll be able to push the voice of the students to the management.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. So like in conclusion, I want to ask, out of 100, how prepared are you to winning the SRC president?
Okay, so I wouldn't say 100% because obviously I wouldn't say 100%. I'll only say 99.9.
99.9.
Yes.
So we have 0.1
just
to step there. I like the confidence. So I hope from now to the time the elections are held, we finish up the 0.1 and then we are good to go. Thank you very much, Abdul, Mumin, for speaking to me. I wish you all the best in the elections. All right.